Until around 100,000 years ago, Europe was dominated by the Neanderthals, but by 28,000 years ago, the last of them had vanished from their final holdout in Gibraltar, having apparently lost out to the modern humans, the Homo sapiens. Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to be talking about how our species won the survival game over others that aren't here today. Stay tuned to find out. At any given time, there were only about 10,000 Neanderthals living. Nowadays, around 800,000 people live in the same area where the Neanderthal once did. Additionally, given that humans are social creatures, the next Neanderthal group was probably a good 100 kilometers away. It was hard to find a partner outside your own family. Neanderthals were wary of new people and preferred to remain within their family groups. The population density would probably be much lower if they had outcompeted our species, the Homo sapiens. They were genetically predisposed to be less friendly to people outside their immediate circle, so it's hard to imagine them building cities as the ones we have today. Over 100,000 years ago, Homo sapiens' early years may have been responsible for our rapid population growth. Hereditary and physically, it contrasts our species. For instance, cows in large herds are better able to deal with stress of sharing a small space as opposed to their wild ancestors, who lived in small groups spread out apart. In a similar way, our perceptions of people outside our group are altered as a result of the genetic differences. We gain tolerance and learn how to live in bigger societies. The Homo sapiens also develop a more diverse genetic pool, which reduced health issues, since it was easier for us to find partner in a group other than our own family. For instance, the Neanderthals in Spain revealed 17 genetic anomalies in just 13 individuals. In later populations of our species, such mutations were virtually non-existent. On the downside, the spread of disease is also facilitated by larger populations. Although Neanderthals lived shorter lives than modern humans, their isolation will have shielded them from infectious diseases that frequently decimated entire populations of humans. Additionally, our species may have reproduced 10 to 20% more frequently than earlier human species. However, the population can only grow if there is enough food for everyone. Around 200,000 years ago, our genetic predisposition toward friendliness took shape. There is archaeological evidence that the raw materials needed to make tools were moved around the landscape more widely from this point forward. We established networks that allowed for the spread of new hunting weapons and jewelry, like shell beads. Ideas were widely shared, and seasonal gatherings of Homo sapiens were used for rituals and socializing. When they ran out of food, members of various groups could rely on their friends, and we may have also needed more emotional contact and new types of relationships outside our human social worlds. In an alternative world where Neanderthals thrived, it may be less likely that humans would have nurtured relationships with animals through domestication. Things might also have been different had environment not generated so many sudden shortfalls, such as steep declines in plants and animals on many occasions. If it wasn't for these, Neanderthals may have survived. People were able to live more effectively off the land by distributing more efficient technologies and providing each other with food during times of crisis when they share resources and ideas with other groups. When the climate changed, this was probably one of the main reasons why some of our species survived while others perished. Homo sapiens were better able to deal with unpredictable weather and situations. This is part due to the fact that in times of trouble, our species could rely on networks. Around 20,000 years ago, at a height of the last ice age, temperatures across Europe were 8 to 10 degrees Celsius lower than what they are today. Germany's temperatures were similar to those in the northern Siberia today. To put it in perspective, for 6 to 9 months of the year, ice covered most of the northern Europe. Inventions could spread among groups thanks to social connections, which help us adapt. This included hunting with domesticated wolves, fine needles for making tailored clothing and keeping people warm, spear throwers, and food storage. As a result, more people made it through natural selection. Another thing that helped a lot is that in general, Homo sapiens were careful not to overconsume resources like deer or fish, and were likely more aware of their life cycles than much earlier species of humans might have been. To give an example, people in Canada only took males when they were fishing for salmon. Our species survive mostly because we enjoy each other's company and because spending time together fosters creativity. But there was a cost to it. The more technology we use, the more harmful it is for the environment. Our soils are losing nutrients as a result of intensive farming. Overfishing is causing the destruction of the seas, and the greenhouse gases that are released when we produce the goods on which we rely are causing extreme weather. Overexploitation wasn't inevitable, but our species was the first to do it. We can hope that over time, our perspectives will shift as a result of seeing the destruction of our natural world. Throughout our history, we have changed quickly when needed. What are your thoughts about this? Leave us a comment below and tell the community. You can also let us know if you wish us to make a video about a topic in specific. Hope you have found these curiosities interesting. If you did, consider liking and subscribing. It only takes a moment and gives the opportunity to others to find this and similar videos. Stay curious.